just yesterday, there was a story on CNL. It's very troubling. I just don't want to believe that a market is engulfed in filth like that. And if you've seen a flyer that we put out there about the Subin River, I was asking Afis, is that a Subin River? Is that how small it's become? But filth has engulfed the place. And also, we have to pay attention to sanitation. But let's bring you this report filed by our Middle Belt Bureau Chief, Hafiz Tijani, on about the Subin River and also how filth is having an impact on day-to-day Kumasi Central markets. Let's bring you that report.
At this open space at the Kumasi Central Market, these women sit close to a drain engulfed with filth. First-timers to this section of the market are welcomed with a stench, but these traders, although fullest aware of the health implications, they are more interested in their trade, defy the health implications to sell their wares.
Kankane dia sopa no bi kaye ahokyere wa ma onsoso no mambedi die tine eje ye sole a ni abetinam tada kura ba hase na wontimi ntina itimi katakata ye hwene ansa ne atimi atena so bi kan wa ma ade na obedi
sese how the blend sese to bi a what hase na etuba na ebon enso je yenya baabi ntinanti yetena mu saa
unsro ebi ayare ne
asa na mekase nya baabi ntina ye nkola na didie mu sebe ye nkola na be ko school nti ye to aduro ni ade agugugu asebe ye asent ni nkoye mu me ye nyale.
Despite efforts by city authorities to clear the choked drain in commemoration of the National Sanitation Day exercise, the place has been filled up again. The traders blame the situation on the dumping of refuse into drains by residents in nearby communities during rainfall.
Yani ati ade ye fa nwura nwu ade ni but nsuo to a na otie e betwe fi ni nyina aba abegu ase tinkaye nkaye ne ati ade nkaye adwen kura ne se nka aban sisi dade ni bi kura ho no ma enke nu sense bola no store ane be ba na egu nanim na nko apra nsuo ni mfa entra
efi ni nsuo to a efiri soro ho efiri eso alaba so ho ebu basa na begugo tan anti ha mutimi yi timi epepla ha nyina ni yi efi ni so se nsuo to a efiri de no an efi ni ba bebre na begugo tan.
Drivers at the nearby lorry terminal also accused the traders of worsening the sanitation situation at the area.
Wabana ayuma afele bola na wi so say enyi wo ma enye mana edisa mana nka bola ni ha wo ba ma wo mu bo say bola ni de ma na eba so mintu fa bola ma no titiri ma titiri na de bola ba bon se no beja ni bola anopai me ba no bi de agekere bola wo botom no de atoya.
Visitors to this market express worry about the sanitation situation.
If the place is unhealthy, you would think that, oh, this is not my house, but you are sitting here, you eat here, you sell, and then everything. It affects our health indirectly or directly. Oh, personally, when you are passing by and then you see the place, it's really not nice. I mean, seeing the place and then the smell it comes with it also affects you. So it's really a problem here. If you look at it, they sell fruits, food and everything. Some even sit and eat here. So it's a concern, seriously. It's really a concern.
Bola na ye tantanta de tuntum e kai me enye Maria bebre. Ana Maria so wo hono se amanu sikasem so adin, edwuma mu so adin. Obanye sika kra na sa de akosa ho yare. Ade amato he ma mu nyina o mu gira hi. Omo bure. The
Sanitation and Environmental Department of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly says it is stepping up engagements with traders and will soon deploy a task force to arrest offenders.
The court, but what we want to do is that we want to use the leaders to help us monitor that stretch because we are not always there. And so when we are able to engage them well and we make them understand that this is what we want to do, and so their own people will police for us. Additionally, we are putting in place some task force to go around and then periodically monitor some of these things. So enforcement is critical, and we are poised to ensure that we deal with people who flout the laws. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kumasi Mayor Richard Ofori Ajiman Wedi is lamenting how funds meant for the construction of critical infrastructure are being channeled to tackling sanitation issues within the metropolis. He blamed the worsening sanitation situation within the Kumasi metropolis on what he called uncouth attitude of some inhabitants despite efforts by the assembly to improve the city's sanitation situation.
It affects our ability to provide essential municipal and metropolitan services that Kumasi so much needs. Currently, all our 14 second cycle institutions are in need of emergency infrastructure, but we have spent virtually all our resources on waste management. So the few that has to be done, we have to run to Accra, go to get fund for them to assist. If we had the money here, would be assisting our schools that are in serious need. So what I'm saying is that your child will go to school, my child will go to school. Let us not create so much field such that we use so much money to deal with the situation, and then when it is time for your child to go to school, you go to the boarding facility and it is not habitable. It is our own creation.
Until the public changes its attitude on sanitation and the authorities enforce the laws, the situation will soon get out of hand.
Now, traders and drivers here are trading blames among each other on who is causing the filth here. But whatever be the case, authorities must step up efforts to ensure the bylaws on sanitation works. Hafiz Tijani, ChannelOne News, Kumasi Central Market, Ashanti Region.
So that report was filed by Hafiz Tijani, but it's not a joke. It's not something we would have to overlook. It's something that has to be taken seriously, because if you visit a market, that is a central market, Kumasi Central Market, the place is engulfed in filth, and also a river body that ideally, maybe Hafiz will explain to us how where it spans from one end to the other, and filth can be found in this river. It's no joke. Something has to be done about it. We understand that the National Sanitation Day has actually been set so that all these things will be addressed, but we can't deal with this one day in a month. No, it's something that cannot be done within a couple of hours. And even with the sanitation day, you just do the sanitation day within 2, 3, 4 hours, then that is it. But when the Kumasi mayor was talking, he made mention of funds. They do not have the money to do A, B, C, and D. And even if they do, money that they are supposed to use in building schools or hospitals and all that will now be channeled into sanitation and all that in the municipality. But I think that if the private sector is also well equipped, it can help address these things. I wouldn't want to really cite the example with Singapore, but that is why I went there, so that we go and look at how sanitation is really being done properly. The government there has really empowered 3 that is sanitation or waste management companies, so that they will deal with whatever it is in the country. So you have 800 Super, you have Kura, and you have AB, that is Alba and WH. They are like sanitation or waste management companies that are dealing with these things. But it's an intentional thing that has to be done for these things to be cleared. You can't be trading blames and be saying that drivers are the ones putting refuse into the drain, and also market women are also saying this or that. But the buck stops with leadership. At the end of the day, if we do not see a leader coming down to work or to get a thing done properly, not long ago we had cases of cholera in this country. It was moving from the Adan side of the country, from that's Greater Accra, from Adan throughout to Kaswa. Are we waiting for another calamity to happen again for us to now say we want to channel funds into sanitation problems in this country? Another big problem too is the MMDCEs, or let's say the assemblies. The assemblies cannot do much because sometimes they are supposed to crack the whip. You go there, you notice that somebody is doing something that is not good, you would have to sort of sanction the person.
Yeah.
But they're also tight-lipped because for all you know, people are also playing politics with these issues. But you are supposed to clear the people along where it is, which is maybe the Subin River or an environment that you think is not properly well managed when it comes to sanitation, then action must be taken.
Yeah, I actually understand what you're saying, but I also think that we as a people need to do better. We as individuals, people that sell in that market, people that drive around that area. It starts with us too. In as much as we want the government to do so much or you know, manage it in a certain way, the government can try, but if the people do not cooperate, it will still not work.
Yeah.
So I think it's a collective effort at the end of the day. In as much as we want the government or we want to hold them accountable to handle some things or say put things in place to handle sanitation, the people need to cooperate too. They need to understand. I'm sure in Singapore, people also cooperate.
Yeah, the cooperation is top notch. But you know what? If you do not enforce the law, people will do whatever they have to do.
Okay, so now,
wrongly.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. I was not there. You were there. So
maybe we should have the pictures of the Subin and the Kumasi Central Market on the screen so that the viewers would appreciate what we are talking about more when it comes to the sanitation in that area.
Right. So when we look at this market, or comparing it to where you were or where you went to, would you say like there were basic trash cans around?
They had 3.
Okay.
3. There is a blue, there is a yellow, and there is also another color, I think red.
Yeah.
So. But there is one that has
plastics.
Right. Another one, I think electronics. Another one too when it comes to liquid or so. So you don't really, or food.
Right.
Food, yeah. Food remains all that. So you don't mix the plastics with whatever the rest carries.
Right.
So there is already a segregation that has been done with segregation before it gets to the recycling point.
And how many of these trash cans do you see around you?
Here in Ghana?
No, there.
Everywhere.
Everywhere,
Every
right?
corner. I mean, one of these days you have to put out the videos and see how things are working. Every corner, there is a trash can. But if that is what we are also going to see in this country, I really do not know. Because now the bigger issue is how to deal with these things on the ground and also get the private sector to also work well and crack the whip. Enforcement is very important. But let's speak to our correspondent and also the Middle Belt Bureau Chief, Hafiz Tijani, who filed this troubling story. I think it's very troubling because, see, we are sitting on a time bomb. If nothing is done about this, eventually we will have problems with health and all that. Hafiz Tijani, good morning. Well, we are still working the lines to bring Hafiz Tijani on and speak to him and get him to explain to details how long this issue has been like this within the Kumasi Central Market. It's a market, and ideally people would go there and buy food items and buy foods and all that. The interview, one of the interviewees made mention of the fact that people sit close to the drain and sell fruits.
It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic because it's like, I don't know, would I call it ignorance or I would call it just because of hunger? People just do not even think about their health.
The law enforcement agencies are not working. Chris, if they are working, it's difficult. Maybe it's easier said than done, which it is. But if really the law enforcement agencies are working and we would want to take action on these things, it should be done. It should be done. So, because even driving to work or coming to work, you see along some market or some stations, filth got all over the place.
Yeah.
And the big question is the sanitation day, which is one day, going to solve all this?
Yeah.
It will not work.
It does
You
not
don't
work.
have a national sanitation day and you tell us that just one day you would use to clear filth or you clear drains and you would get a place clean. We are sorry if you are eating this morning, but this is a very big issue you would have to deal with, because at the end of the day, when you eat your wache in your park, you don't really know where the park lands. And this is something that authorities must work on.
Right.
Because if We were here where, yes, we're here where the President John Dramani Mahama made mention that there's going to be a ban on styrofoam. And after that, we haven't heard anything again.
You know, these conversations always come up every year with the ban of styrofoam, and then nothing happens. We're still using it. The noodle seller is still using it. People are still buying from it. Because I feel like it only comes up when the topic comes up in another country, and then we remember that, hey, okay, we're still using styrofoam here, let us also ban it. And then we do not ban it. Because I know there are so many activists, like climate activists that have been, or environmental activists that have actually been calling for the ban of this. And they are in Ghana here. They have been calling for the ban of this, but yet nothing has been done. So, like, I think I agree with you. It's just understanding how to manage waste. I think a lot of people, sometimes we know that, okay, this trash is not supposed to be here, but
we've left it there.
And the question is, what are we going to do with it? That is the problem. I think they have not yet answered what are we going to do with the trash? If they answered that question, what are we going to do with it? I think then they would, be proactive.
And I also think education must go down well, so that people will be well informed about how to really manage waste and the end result, the ramification if we do not manage waste well. But
I think they should be fined.
Yeah. But Hafiz is joining us live. Hafiz, good morning. Hafiz, good morning.
The network is breaking.
Okay, so unfortunately, we are trying to work the lines to bring Hafiz on. Hafiz, if we do not get him via Zoom, we can also use a phone call so that we can speak to him extensively for him to explain to details what really it is when you go to the Subin area, that is the river. Because what I'm seeing on the screen, I'm not seeing a river. I'm really seeing.
I was still looking for the river.
The river.
I was still looking for a river. Like, what river are we talking about? Is the place called River, or there's an actual river?
Question. And the place is really choked with filth. Yes, this is what was shot yesterday. And the big question I'm asking is, if the authorities are saying that we are, that means we are not ready. We are not doing it yet.
We're not.
We should do it now. See, if we do not get this thing done, people go there, buy foodstuff, take it to their homes,
and then cook.
Consume.
Yeah.
And after consuming this foodstuff or consuming whatever it is, the next question is, if there is a health implication, do we even have the needed facilities to even hold?
At the end of the day, people do not realize that when trash is decomposing, some gases are emitted out of it, and these gases actually can cause health problems. So it's not just about it smelling bad, but it's actually damaging something in you. It affects you neurologically. Do you understand? Some people have headaches. Some people, have stress increase, and of course, stress is cortisol, and everybody knows what cortisol does to your body and how dangerous it is to your body. So if we are if we do not take care of this situation, or if this situation is not taken care of, in some years' time, there's going to be, a wave of a problem at some point. And for those who have respiratory problems, things like this actually increases their problems more. People that have asthma and bronchitis and all that.
I think we have a better line for Hafiz now. Let's engage him briefly. Hafiz, good morning. Hello? Hafiz, good morning. This morning, I think we are having technical challenges with connecting to people on the grounds. Hafiz, good morning. Well, unfortunately, we can't connect to Hafiz and also speak to him, but we will still connect to him because we want to really hear from our correspondent and our Middle Belt Bureau Chief on what really is happening in the area and how the government is dealing with this particular issue. Because even if the government is not, I'm sure that there should be a way around to get the issue resolved. Hafiz, good morning.
Hey, Philip.
I trust you are doing well.
I'm well, thanks for asking.
Quickly, the report you filed, I'm not seeing a river, Subin River. Tell us about it. Is it a drain or is it a river?
Okay, so it is called Subin River, and it's from the Edum area. Then it connects towards the coming towards the Central Market area. So within the Central Market, because structures have been built, so the river passes through that area, but a drain was constructed because of the commercial nature of the place, the central market and the central business district. So they had to construct a drain where the water can go through the alley. So the drain also, or the river also extends to areas like Amekum, to Asafo, then to Askwa. Then you have it extending all the way to Ahensan. Then it connects to another river. So that is where we had the expansion of the Askwa drain, which was part of the government project. Then you have the other rivers within the metropolis connecting to it. So it's a river, but because it passes through a commercial area, they have to create some form of drain so that the water doesn't maybe overflow its banks and destroy items or cause flooding. So that's why they created a drain to ensure that the movement of the water is controlled. So when you go to the Asukwa area, you see that because that area is not so commercialized, and they have made the drain very wide, and the river passes through, the water from the river passes through that area. But this area we are talking about is also part of the extension of the Tubing River.
All right, so you talked about the fear of overflowing. That's why they actually built this place, the drain. But at the end of the day, I want to ask you, from what we are seeing, is it moving? Is the water moving at all? Or is just static right now because of the trash?
Yes, the water is not moving because of the filth that the choked drain. That is why the water is not moving. But when they had come during the National Sanitation Day to desilt the place and also clear the mess over there, the water was moving. So water that is coming from the activities of traders from the Edum area to the central market areas, it's all moving to the Askwa area. So just recently, there was also a work that was done around the Askwa area, the extension of that river too.
Right.
That area was also engulfed with plastic bottles. So later, the assembly liaised with the Askwa Municipal Assembly. Then they took some equipment there, some machines there to clear that. So when you go to that section of the river or the drain, the water moves and flows freely, especially when it rains. So for this place, because the place is choked, because they have dumped so much refuse in it, when the water comes, it overflows because it doesn't find any way to go. The water overflows and floods the market area. So when it rains heavily, sections of the market is flooded because of the nature of the drain. And where they created the drain, where these traders are, there's a kind of bridge there. So the bridge is also so narrow that the water cannot find its way because of how they have dumped the field in it, and it is choked.
Right. So when the rain falls, is there a possibility that it actually connects to a larger water body? You know, because you mentioned that it flows to a certain river and, other places connect. But is there a possibility that some of this trash also flows into a larger water body?
Yes, it does, because the assembly or the observation the assembly has made is that people wait, they pile their refuse and wait until when there's rainfall, then they dump into the drain. So the traders are also saying that these plastics or these refuse we are seeing in the drain now is not their making. It's people who have also dumped from other areas, other communities that also link to, that have their drains linking to this major drain, and they all the field is coming to gather there. But because of the pressure that the water cannot carry the field across, it's choking. But sometimes when you have the place being cleared and they are not dumping so much to choke the drain, when it rains, you find that all the refuse will be moving to the other areas. So, like I said, it connects through the Asapo area and goes through the Asqua area, then to Ahinsan. So you have the plastics also going there. And recently, I mentioned that there was the plastic waste that engulfed a major part of the Subin River around the Asqua area, that the assembly had to come in, the two assemblies had to come in to clear the place.
Hafiz, I just want to ask you this quick question. Do the market women pay tax when it comes to maybe to the assembly and for waste collection too? How often do they embark on an exercise to clean the market or to clean the drains? And how effective is the assembly too, from what they told you?
Well, so for the assembly, for their cleaning, it was done in the morning, but they saw that if they had cleaned in the morning, then the traders would come and go about their activities, and it was littering the place. So they adopted the ninth cleaning some years ago, and that was yielding results. But even now, some of the areas, when there's ninth cleaning and you go there the next morning, you think that nothing has been done. So that has been a concern from the assembly. They say that it's just the attitude of the people that is not changing. But for the drains, it's not done so periodically. Unlike the general cleaning or the daily cleaning they do at the market area. So when you go to the central business district, so from 7, the 9th cleaning starts to somewhere 10 p.m. Then they have trucks that will come and then put all these refuse from the market centers or the business centers into the containers. Then they go and dump them. But the assembly is also saying that so people wait if they see that the trucks have come, and after the collection is done, then they come to dump or put the sacks filled with refuse from their shops and put them, thinking that the next day the assembly is coming to take them. So when you go to the zoo area, heading to the KJT area, the night cleaning is being done, but you still find spills in the morning, and that is a source of worry. But for the traders, they believe that the assembly could have done like some or erected some metals that could stop the spills from coming to from other places, coming into the major drain, so they can control the spills. And they want the assembly to at least do a weekly desilting of the drain in terms of the spills, and that they shouldn't wait for the National Sanitation Day, because people also take advantage. They say even if they dump, they are able to clean it during the National Sanitation Day. So people are taking advantage of that.
Beautiful. Hafiz, thank you so much. We are grateful. At least we've been able to talk about the issue at the that is the Kumasi Central Market. We would have wished to speak to other individuals on the list. That is the Eugene Amu Asamwa, who is the Ashanti Regional President of ESPA and the Business Development Management for KCAP. But definitely we will speak to him, and also Kweku Poku, who is the Environmental Health Officer for Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly.